second 3A semifinal game today. Let's welcome our UC Bank Kid captain to throw out the first pitch for the second game. This is Grace Saraceno from Westchester.
He's going to take it himself for a championship.
A double play wins it for Grace. Turn it to the end zone. What a catch. McKay, touchdown.
Into the layup goes at the buzzer.
Wins it. The championship.
Thank you very much. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our second semifinal game of the IHSA 2023 Class 3A State Baseball Tournament. On the scoreboard, the visitors will be the Roadrunners of Nazareth Academy. And the Sycamore Spartans will be the home team. The Roadrunners will be playing for the 3A State Championship tomorrow. Let us now meet the personnel involved in this game. First of all, for the visiting team, the Roadrunners of Nazareth Academy, entering this game with a record of 32 wins and 6 losses. Let's meet the head coach of Nazareth Academy, Lee Milano, who has a career record of 573 wins and 279 losses over 23 years. Let's meet the assistant coaches for Nazareth Academy, John Saraceno, Rudy Luda, Jim Tomey, Michael Bowden, Rod Mollet, athletic trainer Sherlyn Carlos, and manager Zach Hayes. And now, let's meet the Nazareth Academy Roadrunners. Number 2, Sebastian Wagner. Number 4, Nico Milano. Number 6, Mac McGarry. Number 8, Jeremy Thompson. Number 13, Matt Uphughes. Number 99, Cole Reichsteck. Number 17, Brennan Wagner. Number 24, Danny Gentile. Number 26, Xander Metke. Number 29, Wampampo Gamboa. Number 34, Joey Corcoran. Number 42, Jude Cortez. And number 45, Matthew Montefusco. And let's now meet the starting lineup today for Nazareth Academy. Leading off in right field, number 1, Luca Fiore. Batting second, the shortstop, number 0, Cooper Malamazian. Batting third, the left fielder, number 21, Jaden Foskey. Batting cleanup, the center fielder, number 18, Lucas Smith. Batting fifth, the first baseman, number 9, Nick Tertina. Batting sixth, the shortstop, number 27, David Cox. Batting seventh, the second baseman, number 25, Landon Tomey. Batting eighth, the designated hitter, number 32, Finn O'Meara. Batting ninth, the catcher, number 11, Colin Roche. And the starting pitcher for Nazareth Academy, number 22, John Hughes. Now let us meet the home team, the Spartans of Sycamore. Entering this game with a record of 33 wins and 5 losses. Here's the head coach of Sycamore, Jason Cavanaugh. A career record of 564 wins and 295 losses over 25 years. And now the assistant coaches for Sycamore. Kevin Bolts, Joshua Moss, Adam Lang, Colin Eggleston, athletic trainer Christina Swanson, and athletic trainer Shelby Bernard. And now let's meet the Spartans. Number 1, Addison Peck. Number 2, Robbie Kaczynski. Number 3, Hunter Grix. Number 11, Teague Hallahan. Number 14, Kyle Preble. Number 15, Will Plump. Number 16, Devin Farlander. Number 17, Joey Gregory. Number 25, Will Baumgartner. Number 30, Harrison Polly. And number 31, Ryan Polly. And now the starting lineup for Sycamore. Leading off in center field, number 7, Keeper Tarenti. Batting second, the third baseman, number 9, Matthew Rosado. Batting third, the right fielder, number 44, Tommy Townsend. Batting cleanup, the catcher, number 23, Kyle Hartman. Batting fifth, the first baseman, number 24, Lucas Winberg. Batting sixth, the designated hitter, number 5, Owen Piazza. Batting seventh, the left fielder, number 6, Connor Williams. Batting eighth, the shortstop, number 4, Colin Severson. Batting ninth, the second baseman, number 34, Joey Julio. And the pitcher for Sycamore, number 27, Jimmy Atman. Good luck, gentlemen. Let's
It's
play
time
ball.
for semifinal game number 3 in Class 3A. The winner playing Grays Lake Central for the state championship tomorrow. And in this one, it'll be either Nazareth Academy, the Roadrunners, the defending state champs, 32-6 record, and they're taking on the Sycamore Spartans, coming in at 33-5. And hi again, everybody. Dave Bernhard, along with Hall of Fame coach Mark Lindo. Grays Lake Central, the 9-1 win earlier today over Effingham. And this one, Mark, what an interesting contrast here. Forget about on the field today necessarily. You have Nazareth Academy, defending 3A champs. For Sycamore, this is the first time ever the Spartans have made it to the state baseball finals.
Absolutely, and the Spartans under Jason Cavanaugh have some pretty good history. They've had some really good seasons, just have not been able to get to the big show. For Nazareth, Lee Milano's team, been here, done that. They know how to win as the Spartans take the field.
Visiting team today in this game, Nazareth Academy. Here's their batting order today under head coach Lee Milano. Milano, his 23rd season, 573 wins. Luca Fiore to lead things off. He's in right field. The shortstop is Cooper Malamazian. Jaden Fowski bats third. He's the left fielder. Center fielder Lucas Smith is in the cleanup spot. The first baseman Nick Dertina bats fifth. David Cox, third baseman, is in the sixth spot. Landon Tomey, the freshman second baseman, is batting seventh. Finn O'Meara, the designated hitter today, and he is hitting for the pitcher John Hughes. And the lineup rounded out by sophomore catcher Chuck Roche. Defensively for the Sycamore Spartans, 33-5 on the season. Connor Willier, Kiefer Tarnoki, and Tommy Townsend from left to right, the left side of the infield. Third baseman Matt Rosado, shortstop Colin Severson on the right side. Second baseman is Jolie Julio. Lucas Winburn is the first baseman. Kyle Hartman behind the plate. Jimmy Ampman will do the pitching today for the Spartans from Sycamore.
We'll take a look at Jimmy Ampman, 6'1", 210 senior. He's 9-0 on the season, 146 earned run average and 48 innings pitched, 78 punch-outs against 28 base on balls for Ampman, who will attend Heartland Community College next year, but a good size, good physique for that young man. On the hill, he comes in throwing a wide variety of pitches, fastball, curveball, change. We will see them all here this afternoon.
We take a look at Nazareth Academy, their team. 10 players in the starting lineup today. Only 2 of them are seniors. And this defending state champs, returning 9 starters from last year's title team. That was the first championship, by the way, in Nazareth Academy school history in baseball. They've been to the finals 6 of the last 13 years.
Now here we go, semifinal number 2. We know that Grays Lake Central has already advanced to their first ever state title game. Nazareth going for the repeat. Here we go with our first pitch to call it. Hall of Fame voice of the IHSA. Here's Dave Bernhard.
Well, thank you very much, Mark. Gorgeous afternoon here, just afternoon here in downtown Joliet. We are playing this one at Dooley Health and Care Field, site of the 3A, 4A state championships. Furia takes the first pitch for a ball. Ampman pretty much turns his back to his hitters, and he's down the count now, 2-0.
Ampman's pretty juiced up right now. He's got to gather himself and pour in strike one here. Been high on both his first 2 pitches.
There's a strike called. Our home plate umpire in this one is Jim Urbanek. Bill Orris is at first base, and Chris Avila, the third base umpire. 2-1 to the 396 hitter, and this is a line drive center, and it'll drop down in front of Tarnoki. Fioria gets things started with a base hit.
Fiore was sitting dead right on a fastball. 2-1 on that count. He just flat out turned on it. Fiore can do some damage when on base. He scored 38 runs on the season. He's their table setter.
Cooper Malamazian, the junior shortstop, what a year he has had. Get this, .569 average, 37 hits, and 65 at bats.
He just looks like he's hitterish in that box. Looks really relaxed. Already committed to Indiana. Good size, good speed.
Pickoff attempt over at first base. Malamazian, 3-year starter. Started as a freshman. Lee Milano will get a chance to see him on defense. Lee Milano says he's the best high school shortstop he's ever seen.
He's got 17 extra base hits. 5 of those being home runs. So defense has backed up for him already.
Ampman takes a little off, turns it over. Ball and 2 strikes.
Went high hard, went slow low right there. got him set up to go back above his hands if he so chooses.
Good fastball is fouled straight back.
So he did indeed go with the fastball. So you would think now you'd get high, you'd go slow, low here. That would give Fiore a chance if they guess right, Lee Milano. I think a lot of the guys on this Nazareth team are on their own. Short lead right now, though, by Fiore.
Malamazian skies this one, foul territory in front of the Nazareth dugout. First baseman Winburn stumbles and makes the catch. Looking right up into the sun.
That was a really good catch. High sky here, downtown Joliet. And Winburn just fought and fought and fought. It got pretty good communication from his catcher Hartman telling him, you got room, you got room. And he made a nice catch. He fought it the whole way, the wind and the sun.
Stepping to the plate, it's the left fielder, sophomore Jaden Fauski. .487 batting average, 17 doubles. Team leading 38 runs batted in.
He's already committed to the University of Louisville.
Jimmy Antman listed at 6'1". He looks bigger than that. 210, he looks bigger than that.
Yeah, he's strong.
Comes right at him. Winburn will take it himself. No play at second. Two gone. That'll advance Fiore to second base.
I'll tell you what, Winburn has made two really nice plays already because he caught the foul pop up, Valley the Sun and Wind, and then that ball was squared up by Fauski, but Winburn did what he should do. He got down, he got his chest right in front of it, took it, got the sure out.
Cleanup hitter is one of the two seniors in today's starting lineup. That's Lucas Smith. He's a center fielder headed to the University of Illinois, Chicago.
This Nazareth team won their last 17 games last year. Then they won their first 18 this year. 35-game win streak they had, which was among the best in IHSA history.
Will this stay in play down the right field line? Winburn right there near the railing, and this one he cannot get. That would have been a heck of a first inning had Lucas Winburn made that catch.
So Spartan defense right now with this turf field at Dooley Health and Care Field. You're going to play your infield back at the color change between brown and green. Give yourself some room. Lay out for any ball on the ground. Keep the ball in the infield.
Tried to get Smith to chase. You mentioned that 35-game winning streak. That immediately preceded a stretch, and Nazareth went 3-4. In fact, the last game in that stretch was the turning point of the year when Maris clocked Naz 11-1. Off the end of the bat, just got a piece of it. And after Maris beat them 11-1, there's some alums that weren't too happy from Nazareth. They said, hey, tell those guys they got to start playing. 2-2-2. To left field. Willier has to come in. Looks up into the sun. Will make the catch and I'll retire the side. So a leadoff single for Nazareth, and that is it. We will go to the bottom of the first inning. Sycamore coming to the plate.
This NFHS Network Championship event is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Sycamore Spartans making their first appearance in the state finals. 33-5 record under head coach Jason Cavanaugh, his 25th season, 564 wins. Here's the batting order for Cavanaugh. It'll be Kiefer Tanoki to lead things off. He's in center. Matt Rosado and Tommy Townsend hitting the 2 and 3 spots. Catcher Cal Hartman hits fourth, and Lucas Winburn, first baseman, bats fifth. The designated hitter, Owen Piazza, he's batting for the pitcher, Jimmy Ampman. Hitting in the seventh spots, Connor Willier, the left fielder. Colin Severson hits eighth. The shortstop, Joey Pulio. The second baseman will bat ninth. For Nazareth Academy, the outfield is Jaden Fowski, Lucas Smith, and Luca Fiore. On the infield is David Cox, Cooper Malamazian, Landon Tomey, and Nick Dertina. Behind the plate is Chuck Roche. Chuck Roche. On the mound, John Hughes, the lefty.
John Hughes, 5-0, 29 innings pitched, 0.88 earned run average, 39 strikeouts against 14 bases on balls.
Just before that first pitch is thrown, third base umpire Chris Avila came running to home plate to check in with Jim Urbanek, and now Bill Orris, the first base umpire. They're joined out at the mound with pitcher John Hughes.
Now they're going to talk to Hughes about the white band on his left arm, and I'm going to guess that that's something that Hughes has worn all year long. I don't know for a fact.
And since it came from the third base side of the field, Jason Cavanaugh, I am sure the head coach for Sycamore, has something to say about that. So now we'll get a conversation with both head coaches. And it wasn't the white sleeve.
So there was something else. They did take off his arm. It's now in the Nazareth dugout.
So we'll go to the leadoff batter for Sycamore. That's the center fielder, senior Kiefer Tarnoki. First pitch to Tarnoki, up and away. Tarnoki, 5'11", 200-pounder, 422 batting average. Rips this one up the middle, base hit. Tarnoki is on.
Well, he got a 1-0 fastball flat out, turned on it, and he just hit that ball right back up the middle. Really good start for the Sycamore Spartans.
He'll be followed in the order by Matt Rosado. Rosado, 225-pound junior, 381 average. He has 10 doubles, couple of home runs. Tarnoki, the short lead against the lefty.
He got their super sectional win started with a single to lead off an inning for them as they went ahead and beat Rock Island 8-0 in that ball game. But he's the one that catapulted with a catalyst.
Strike evens up the call at 1-1. Sycamore on a 12-game winning streak, outscored its opponents 38-8 the first 4 games of the playoffs. And that was not Hughes' best move.
Rosado will use all fields. They call him a spray hitter, as Coach Cavanaugh, in outfield playing straight away in respect to that.
Two balls and a strike. Wind starting to pick up just a bit from what we saw in our first game today. Blowing in from center field. Hughes took a little off it. Rosado had to wait. Pops it to Landon Tomey for the first catch. First out of the inning.
Good drop step by Tomey. Heard that ball off the sound of the bat. Dropped his left foot. Went to the spot where the ball was going to land. Shielded with his glove and made an easy catch.
And Tomey, yes indeed. He is the freshman son of first ballot Hall of Famer Jim Tomey, who's also on the coaching staff at Nazareth Academy. I'll bring up left-hand hitting Tommy Townsend. Lefty on lefty here. Townsend, 360 hitters, driven in 43 runs this year. That leads the Spartans. Big time power. 12 doubles, a triple, and 8 home runs.
He'll play baseball at Butler, Division I next year. He's kind of the guy on their team that keeps things loose.
Hughes misses outside. 78 degrees, wind blowing in 7 miles per hour.
Hughes tried to go to the outer edge with a fastball. Now he got set up outer edge again, probably with a breaking ball this time.
Townsend turned on it. It was up and in. Fouls it hard past the first base bag.
Yeah, Hughes lucky right there, Dave, because he wanted that ball off the edge. Home plate 17 inches wide. He probably got that ball about 15 inches from the inner part, so he wanted to be another 2 or 3 inches outside. Didn't get it there. That ball was hit hard.
Townsend down on the count, a ball and 2 strikes. The runner at first. Try to paint that outside corner. It's now 2-2. Waiting on deck is Kyle Hartman.
Now that's a pitch he wanted, and it was a good quality pitch, 1-2. Tip your hat to Townsend for going ahead and taking that. The battle within the battle, pitcher and hitter.
This one's ripped to right field. That's going to get down. Tarnoki hits the bag at second. He's headed to third. Spartans will have runners at the corners with 1 out.
See, and that was that take on the previous pitch by Townsend. He didn't go fishing. He got patient, got a ball that he could turn on. Kept his front shoulder in there, stood tall, lefty against lefty, and he just ripped that ball down the right field line. Lost in that was Luca Fiore getting to that ball in a hurry and saving a run. But Tarnoki, boy, can he run. That was fun to watch him go first to third.
Cleanup hitter is Kyle Hartman, the catcher. He's just a junior. .382 batting average, 9 doubles, 7 home runs. He's driven in 36 runs. The second highest on his team behind Townsend. Strike 1 to Hartman.
Jason Cavanaugh describes Hartman as an elite defensive catcher. We'll get a chance to watch that here this afternoon.
Too much time for Hartman. Takes that big deep breath. He's waved back into the batter's box, and here we go. Short lead at first for Townsend. Hartman will foul this one out of play, high and behind the first base dugout, actually onto the concourse. It reaches the concourse, and count now 0-2.
Now Mazian and Tomey, shortstop, second base respectively. Up and in, double play depth. Corners are both a third base back, and of course the first base hold.
Bigger lead now for Townsend at first. John Hughes being very careful here in the bottom of the first inning. Hartman just got a piece of that, and he was looking to do some damage to it.
Yeah, 0-2, and he said, okay. Everybody says choke up, get off the bottom, put it in play. Not that time. He took a full big-time pass at the baseball.
Long look in from Hughes. This will be out of play down the right field line. We have some young folks on the berm. It will get onto the concourse.
Hartman with those wearing those pants high on the knees, stirrups showing like everyone on the Sycamore Spartan team does. That's why it's called a uniform.
If that was a quasi pitch out or just got away from Hughes a little bit. In any case, it's 1-2. Hartman will be followed by Winburn. Strikeout of Hartman. Well, that pitch I thought was going to head outside. Instead of slider dipped down. Hartman goes down for the second out of the inning.
Yeah, that was the back foot breaking ball with late bite. That ball moved a good 10 to 12 inches from the middle of the plate right to his back foot. Swung right over the top of it.
Now Lucas Winburn with runners at the corners will look to bring something home. Winburn's driven in 25 runs on a .366 average.
6'5", 205, a big young man.
Hits it hard to center field. Giving ground is Lucas Smith. He's there. And that ends the Sycamore threat. 2 hits, 2 runners left on base. But after the first inning here in Joliet, your Class 3A semifinal, we have no score.
Hey,
High school sports fans, relive your favorite moments. Just click the shopping cart below the video player to get your digital copy today.
In an age where a lot of coaches don't stick around for a long time at any one spot, or maybe anywhere for that matter, this ball game today we have two coaches who have combined for 48 years of experience and over 1,100 wins. That's Lee Milano and Jason Cavanaugh.
Yeah, both with great pedigrees. Both have contributed an awful lot to the game of baseball, not just in the far west suburbs of Sycamore or Nazareth, but in the entire state of Illinois. And you talk about that many years of longevity, all the lives they've impacted go beyond all the success they've had on the field. And you gave both their win totals. It's a lot of wins between those two young men. And you know, later on, my goodness, we have Mike Napoleon with over 800 wins, and Tim Funkhauser from Edwardsville, Mike from New Trier. Tim Funkhauser, Edwardsville, over 800 wins. So got a lot of coaching victories here at Dooley Health and Care Field.
Leading off the top of the second inning, it'll be Nick Dertina. Dertina, yet another junior. Remember this state title team last year. Antman delivers first pitch, fouled back. And that will hit the roof on the second level and scoot down into a parking lot.
Yeah, he's another Louisville recruit. Louisville Cardinals have hit Chicagoland hard in the state of Illinois probably the last 6, 7, 8 years.
Antman goes with the breaking ball, took something off it.
Yeah, winning pitcher in the title game last year. That was a great, great victory for Nazareth.
Ball's a little bit high. 12 wins last year. He was 5-0 this year. We're talking about Dertina, but injured his UCL, ulnar collateral ligament. He's been cleared to play first base, but he will not be doing any pitching. He's at the plate now with a 2-2 count. And now 3-2.
Atman doing a good job, though, working in and out, up and down. Utilizing the entire strike zone.
Pitch Dertina. A little soft line drive right to the first baseman, Winburn.
Winburn's been busy already, huh? 3 putouts himself. A line drive, a pop-up, and a 3 unassisted.
Antman's ready to go, and waiting for him now in the batter's box is David Cox, third baseman. Cox, 6'4", 205-pound junior. We have some big players in this game. 396 hitter, I mean big physically. Antman gets that ball up on you in a hurry and gets that fastball upstairs.
And Cox, just a junior, he's committed to Northwestern already.
6 Division I commitments in this Nazareth Academy team.
Well, how'd you like to have your third baseman to the Big Ten and your shortstop to the commitment that he made, Malmazian, to Indiana, the Big Ten?
That's an awfully good left side of the hit field.
Yeah, Lee Milano said it's as good a left side as you can imagine. Well, you and I concur on that one. They're both underclassmen.
Cox didn't like that call. I think it fooled him just a bit as Antman comes and gets him. And now Antman right back on that rubber. He's ready to go on a 2-2 count. Curveball to the shortstop on the other side, Severson. Low throw picked out of there by Winburn. And yes, you are not seeing things. You have a left-handed shortstop in Colin Severson. Severson, a great story. He was just a courtesy runner at the beginning of the year, and they need a little help on the infield, so Severson, the lefty, playing short.
See a picture of Jim Tomey in the corner of the dugout. He is watching his son with this at bat. Probably more nervous than he ever was when he played. Jim Tomey taking some notes in that corner, but son starting second baseman.
That is Landon Tomey at the plate. They both wear number 25, of course. Landon Tomey sinking, and Dad's got to be pretty happy. Freshman son gets a 2-out base hit here in the second.
I was watching Jim Tomey in the dugout more as a dad than as a coach. He didn't cheer at all. He's kind of sitting back and just being a coach instead of a dad right there, which is probably pretty hard to do.
Well, I happened to talk to Jim Tomey last night, talking baseball, and then as you said just before Jim was getting on the bus, the Nazareth Academy bus, and Mark, you said, well, now it's time to be a dad.
Yeah.
You get nervous as being a dad. Well, son's at first base, and at the plate now is Finn O'Meara. He's the designated hitter batting for John Hughes. And that will hit O'Meara on the backside, and all of a sudden Naz with 2 outs has runners at first and second.
So pretty quiet start to inning. Chuck Roche right now has a chance to get the first run on the board in this baseball game.
Roche will step into the box, the number 9 hitter. Still hitting a .367 clip. 25 runs batted in. No let up in this lineup. Hammond brings it up and away.
Yeah, can you repeat that? 367 in the 9-hole.
Yes.
That's not too bad. You talk about depth? Yeah, Lee Milano said, yeah, we have a little bit of offensive depth. Are you kidding me?
Roche, 6'2" sophomore catcher. How do you like to have your catcher back for another 2 years?
The only 2 seniors. Nazareth got some work to do this weekend, but I think they'll be making plans for next year.
Just like that, it's gone to 3-0, and we're 1 pitch away from turning it back over to the top of the order. Program lists him as Colin Roche, but Roche prefers to go by Chuck.
How about those blue shoes?
I was just
oh
looking
my goodness.
at that. Just looking at that as he was stepping into the box. Shoe color's a little bit lighter than the numbers in the back of their jerseys. Ampman takes the count now to 3-1. Now 3-2. All right, Coach, you're calling the pitches here. You go heat, you go breaking ball.
I'm going to dodge that only because I don't know what he has the most confidence in right now. The obvious pitch would he's running up there 87, 88 miles an hour. I think you got to go with your best pitch. That's a fastball.
He does. Just missed inside. Thought he might have had it. Bases will be loaded. Tomey down to third. O'Meara to second. Roche at first. Catcher will run for himself. Well, actually, they did get a courtesy runner in there. Sebastian Wagner. Wagner was ready to roll.
Yeah, he snuck in quickly on you. Hey, Fiore hit it hard the first time up. Game situation.
Right there at the top of the zone.
Hartman's got to block this breaking ball in the dirt whenever they choose to use it.
There it was.
And he did. One hopped it, 60 foot 6 inches. Mound to home plate. That ball was about 59 and a half feet.
Well, that was a fastball. Luca Fiore pulled off it. And Ampman now 1 pitch away from leaving the bases loaded. Long look in for Ampman. A little too long for Fiore.
All Nazareth base runners will get a secondary lead. They'll be bouncing another 2 to 3 steps after the pitch.
Just missed. Woo-hoo. 2, and 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
Lucas Winberg, the first baseman for Sycamore, he was halfway in the dugout on that, jumping up and down, hoping that right arm went up, but the drama builds.
This is rolled out to Severson. A little flip, that's close. They get him. 6-4 on the put out, and the bases loaded, nothing, scores. Inning and a half in the books, scoreless here in Joliet.
Thank you for joining us for today's state.
High school sports fans, relive your favorite moments. Just click the shopping cart below the video player to get your digital copy today.
Glad to have you with us here today at Dooley Health and Care Field. You're watching live coverage of the IHSA Baseball Championships on the NFHS Network. NFHSnetwork.com/IHSA. Your destination for the most comprehensive coverage of Illinois high school playoff action.
Well, Sycamore got out of that jam, got the first 2 outs of the inning. Tomei singled, then a hit batter and a walk. Bases juiced. They turn the lineup over, and they get the 6-4 fielder's choice. Now with a little bit of momentum from the defensive side, they get to get their at-bat here.
And it will be 6, 7, and 8. Owen Piazza, Connor Willier, and Colin Severson. Piazza, the designated hitter, batting for the pitcher, Jimmy Ampman. Piazza, the senior, with a .349 average. These two teams can swing the bats. They're facing 2 good ones out there, though, in the form of John Hughes for Nazareth and Jimmy Ampman for Sycamore.
No doubt. Piazza play ball at Aurora University next year.
Tough play. Third baseman Cox cuts it off, makes it look easy.
Well, how about gliding to his left, kept the glove down the whole time, and then just showed off a hose to first base and beats Piazza by a good 2 or 3 steps.
And that ball left the bat. I thought it was going to have to be Malamazian to make a play in the hole. Instead, 1 out to Connor Willier. Lefty on lefty, and a called strike and a breaking pitch. Did he go? He did. Hughes left a couple of runners on base last inning, gave up a couple of hits. The 0-2 pitch. A lot of room down the right field line. Not expecting Williard to be able to pull the ball on Hughes.
Landon Tomei, second baseman for Nazareth. He's playing 2 or 3 steps behind where the brown area ends at second base.
Malamazian waves everybody off. He wants it out short, and he'll make the catch for the second out.
You know, as coaches, you and I, we watch little things. I'll tell you what, Malamazian went to get that ball, and immediately Tomei, the second baseman, went to cover the base. I mean, that's just great fundamental baseball that many, many, many programs don't execute something as simple as that. You're expected to be at a move every time the ball's hit.
Colin Severson will hit with 2 outs. Severson, a left-handed thrower, right-handed hitter, facing Hughes. I mentioned earlier that Severson was just a courtesy runner at the beginning of the year. He just kept going, and his coach, Jason Cavanaugh, Severson rips this one, and that will get under the glove of Cox. That ball picked up speed as it got to Cox. third hit of the game for Sycamore. But back to Severson. Jason Cavanaugh said he did exactly what you should do when you're a role player. Just go out there, be good enough. You can't be overlooked. That's exactly what he did. And all of a sudden he finds a spot at shortstop.
Yeah, you can't keep his bat out of the lineup right now. Counting the super sectional and sectional championship, and today he's 4 of his last 6 hitting, and he had a 3-run, 2 RBI game the other day.
That's batting out of the 8th spot. So we go to number 9 and Joey Pulio. Pulio, slow roller to Cox. Up, the throw. That will retire the side. 1 hit in the inning, and that is it. We've played 2 complete. We are scoreless.
The official IHSA State Final merchandise is on sale right here at UB Health and Care Field. Fans may...
High school sports fans, relive your favorite moments. Just click the shopping cart below the video player to get your digital copy today.
Of every game from this tournament available on DVD. Again, go to www.ihsa.tv.
Dave Bernhardt, Mark Lindo with you here. Gorgeous weather, about 78 degrees, wind blowing in, maybe 4 to 8 miles per hour. I don't know that it can get more comfortable for fans watching a game. Last week we were in Peoria for the 1A and 2A finals, and it was hot. I mean, no rain, but it was hot. Today, just gorgeous weather.
Well, you mentioned that Sycamore winning streak. Their last loss was May 11th to Crystal Lake Central. They had lost the day before against Morris. And since then, they have been on a big-time run.
And that loss to Morris was a crusher for Sycamore because Spartans were looking to win the Interstate 8 Conference, and they lost the final game of the season of conference play to Morris, and that cost them the title. But yet, here the Spartans are playing for a chance to play for a state baseball championship. Cooper Malamazian to lead things off for Nazareth. He's going to start with the line drive left field. Willier is there. 1 pitch, 1 out.
That ball was hit on the screws, but not too far for Willier to have to roam to his right to make that catch.
Jaden Fauski bounced out to first base his first time up. Fauski last year as a freshman hit .393, only struck out 5 times. One of the best pure hitters that Lee Milano has coached.
.487, that's just insanity kind of numbers this year.
He's ahead in the count. Fauski is 2-0.
Nazareth hitters can really rake the baseball, but Entman's been pretty good so far, keeping them in check. Fastball just busting, mostly on hitters' hands. He's really been able to not let Nazareth hitters extend too much here today.
Fauski 3-0. Does he have a green light? Didn't appear so. Doesn't matter. 4-pitch walk will send Fauski to first base. It's a second walk for Antman, who's also hit a batter.
And Fauski has the ability to steal a base. Lee Milano, third base coach. You know, a lot of coaches have little cue cards or little 3x5 note cards. He's carrying around, what, an 8x11 piece of paper. That's his scouting report is all in there.
Right past Antman into center field. Lucas Smith puts runners at first and second. That's the third hit of the day for the Roadrunners.
Lucas Smith showed you why he'll be able to play at UIC next part of his career. He just flat out turned around a fastball. That had exit velocity that would be envious for anyone.
Baseman number 9, Nick Tertina.
Nick Tertina, before he gets into the batter's box, looks down at his wristband to see what Lee Milano used that 8.5 by 11 piece of paper to call. Lead at second, Afowski. Smith at first. Tertina looks to show bunt, pulls back. Not sure if that was really going to happen with one out.
Interesting that he would even show that. That was a straight take showing bunt, which I think Tertina's job right now is to drive the baseball.
He's going to work with a 2-0 count. Remember, Ampman stranded the bases loaded last inning. Tertina will sky this one to left. Foul territory, out of play.
Boy, Tertina sitting dead right on a 2-0 fastball. That's what he was looking for. He got it. And just got inside out a little bit. Some kind of breakdown between Lee Milano and Tertina.
So you think Tertina saw that maybe he was supposed to bunt? Yeah. And he said, no, I'm going to gear this one up. Tertina, 6'2", 185-pounder, a junior.
Now, interesting, though, I think Lee Milano actually used that conference with Tertina to get in the ear of Jim Robotic, the home plate umpire, and not in a demonstrative way, but I think he wanted something clarified. So I think that was a really, really good coaching movement by Lee Milano right there to get his message.
Pulls back on a bunt attempt as well. It's 3-1.
3-4-1 is the signal from Lee Milano. You and I don't know what 3-4-1 means, but Tertina does. You see him looking at his wristband there.
He looked at it for a long time. Let's see what it is. It's 3-2. Grays Lake Central players are looking on. They know they'll be playing one of these two teams for the state championship tomorrow. To the right side and through. Rounding third, Fauski. Nazareth Academy hits the scoreboard first. Oh, whatever the signs were, the last one was give me a base hit to right field and let's go on top.
He showed bunt a couple times, but on the 3-2 pitch, I thought Lee Milano might run them there, because if you think your hitter's going to put the ball in play, you run right there. They did not, but he was able to get on top of that ball enough to drive it through the 3-4 hole on the right side, the first run of the ball game.
Smith went to third on that play and throw. David Cox at the plate. Cox bounced out to short his first time up. All of a sudden, Nazareth Academy putting base runners on these last two innings.
See, right now, if you're Lee Milano and his staff, they got a clock on the pitcher. Atman. Atman was 1.47 to home on a high leg kick there. He's got to be quicker than that or they'll steal a base.
Well, not only does he have that high leg kick, he'll take the knee behind the rubber, so it's a long time.
And then with the previous pitch being a breaking ball, it's even longer. So you got to give your catcher, Kyle Hartman, a chance on a would-be stolen base. Probably not 0-2 here.
Smith at third, Tertina at first. Short lead at first base. And that knocks the helmet off of David Cox. Getting checked out there by Jim Urbanek. And Lee Milano came running down the line to make sure his guy was okay.
Nazareth dugout and fans with a nice round of applause as Nazareth has a chance with a table set for a possible big inning.
While everyone is looking down at first base, Jason Cavanaugh, the head coach for Sycamore, waits in foul territory, gets the go-ahead to come out to the mound and talk to Jimmy Atman. It's the second time in 2 innings that Nazareth has loaded the bases.
Game situation for Landon Tomei, who hit the ball right on the button his first time up with a base hit. He can create some separation right now. I'm sure that Lee Milano just told him, you're sitting on one pitch that you like right here on the first ball. If I'm told me I'm looking first ball, fastball, if Atman can drop in a breaking ball or something else off speed, more power to him, then you go to work. But mentally right now, you're probably looking first ball, fastball, get the ball in the inner part, you can drive.
Tomey's driven in 25 runs this year, .330 hitter. He has one of the 4 Nazareth Academy hits. One gone here in the top of the third.
Tomey just a freshman, not a sophomore, not a junior, a freshman.
Only the third baseman, Rosado, is in. And he is just barely inside the line. Everybody back, playing for either a double play or just to get an out. They'll give him a run here. Tomey hits this one to center. Goes to Tarnoki, tagging at third. Catch is made. Smith on his way home, and he will score. Sacrifice fly. Landon Tomey in a 2-0 lead.
He got the barrel right to that ball. Tarnoki got to it in a hurry, but the ball was lifted far enough to get that second run in. He did his job. Did Landon Tomey on that sac fly.
Batting now for Nazareth, the designated hitter, number 32, Finn O'Meara.
2 runs in the inning. Finn O'Meara, he was hit by a pitch his last time. Looking to steal a couple of bases, and they will. It was a one look, and at second base, Dertina took off. He was halfway down the line before Antman released the ball.
Yeah, I'll jump on what you said, even more descriptive. Atman looked once and delivered instead of holding or instead of looking twice, 3 times, what have you. That's a good base runner coaching staff will see that.
Behind the plate, Hartman knew he had no chance, had to rush it, couldn't handle it. Second and third here with 2 outs for O'Meara.
You know, Atman's been reminded of that probably hundreds of times in his life, but sometimes in the moment, your focus goes home and you forget about the base runners.
Big curveball, couldn't find the spot. It's 3-0. First base open to the number 8 hitter, Finn O'Meara. Chuck Roche on deck. Three balls, 1 strike. Right fielder Townsend playing deep, as is the left fielder Willier. Tarnoki playing average depth in center. Ampman quickly to home. The count now is going to 3-2. Well, this is a big batter right here for Nazareth Academy, looking for separation.
Yeah, Atman right now, his pitch count is mounting in this inning. And of course, in this inning, they've all been stressful pitches.
Goes curveball.
Good pitch and good waste of a solid pitch by Finn O'Meara right there.
O'Meara headed to DePaul next year to play his collegiate baseball, one of the 2 seniors in the starting lineup. Ropes this one right to the third baseman, Rosado. 2 runs cross the plate, but Nazareth leaves 2 in scoring position. Couple of hits in the inning. RBI from Dertina, sacrifice fly from Landon Tomey, and it is 2-0 Naz after 2.5.
Jack, Alonzo, Adam, and Alex from Sycamore competing for free dinners at Chick-fil-A. The more chicken they catch, the more food they win. All right, guys, are you ready? And go. One more try. Here we go. On the way.
Well, we definitely know there's better throwers here on the field than there was in the chicken launch that we just saw here.
The chicken launch never launched.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, today's game's available to download. Click the digital copy button under the event video player to download a digital copy of the event right to your computer. Sycamore here in the bottom of the third, chasing 2 against John Hughes.
Sycamore assistant coach Kevin Bolts, he won a state championship with Kaneland a few years back, so he's got one of those under his belt.
It's a first-time experience for Sycamore High School in the Final Four in the state baseball tournament. Lost in the super sectionals last year, so they were just a few innings away from being here last year. Kiefer Tarnoki to lead it off. Tarnoki's single on the first pitch he saw from Hughes. He was eventually stranded at third. Tarnoki will be down at first again, this time by way of a walk. First walk of the game for Hughes.
Tarnoki, the table setter. I'm not so sure that one didn't clip him in the helmet. They're checking on that. Tarnoki told you and I last night that one of his superstitions is the way he puts on his stirrup socks. So every time he dresses for a ball game, it's sock, it's stirrup, then sock, then stirrup, then sock. And if it deviates from that, he probably won't be able to play the game.
No.
One of those superstitions, you have to do it right each and every time. Repetition causing habit.
Matt Rosado popped out to second baseman his first time up.
We had a chance to go to that picnic last night. All 8 teams were here down in the left field picnic area, and what a great talk by Andre Dawson, huh?
Yeah, that was something. A Hall of Famer. The message he had for the athletes there, he traced his story, much of which I did not know, the background story of how he eventually made it to the big leagues, and it was inspirational to those high school kids sitting in front of him.
So the IHSA and the city of Joliet brought 8 teams together, had a picnic dinner, guest speaker, really well done. Kudos to IHSA and Joliet.
Hughes falls behind Rosado, 3 balls and a strike.
Good pitch to run on if you're betting on the hitter.
Short lead by Tarnoki. Rosado down the left field line. Tarnoki headed to third. Rosado will turn and head to second. Runners second and third for Sycamore with nobody out here in the third.
Well, Rosado looked a ball on the inner part, and he just got the head of the bat out in front of home plate, got the barrel above the baseball, and laced it past the diving David Cox. Not a chance for this superlative third baseman Cox to make that play.
Tommy Townsend in a position now to tie this game up with 1 swing. Leadoff walk Tarnoki, he's at third. Rosado the double at second. Big cut from Townsend. He singled his last time up.
I tell you what impresses me about Townsend, lefty against lefty, he doesn't give in at all. He just goes up there hacking and stays at front side in, stays tall over the ball, and makes really solid pass to the baseball.
Right fielder Luca Fiore, very deep. Center fielder Lucas Smith playing a little deeper than normal. Left fielder Fauski, not quite as deep as the others. Townsend looks at ball 2.
Scott report and numbers tell us Townsend's got 12 doubles, a triple, and count it, 8 home runs. 8 home runs for the big fella.
327 down the right field line. Curveball drops in.
Spartan offense averages 9.5 runs a game, but again, Dave, for high school, 35 home runs coming in. That's a powerful lineup, especially for a high school team.
Looking to go outside to Townsend a little bit too much. 3-2, 35 home runs in 38 games. Hughes, a long look. Pitch to Townsend. Got him swinging.
Huge pitch, quality pitch. The placement of that baseball in the late bite was all the difference in that. That Townsend did indeed take his full swing, but the ball just dove away at the last second.
Brings up Kyle Hartman with one out. Runners second and third. The infield is back. Hartman hits this ball high in the air. Will it stay in play for Cox? Foul territory and drops about 15 feet away. And that's a break right there for Hartman.
Wind picking up quite a bit now. Could have knocked down some balls into left and left center field.
36 runs batted in this year for Hartman. Hughes delivers. Takes another big cut at it.
I've been impressed. Both these teams, they get their money's worth of the plate.
They do.
You have not seen many meek or weak swings at all.
Hartman, sky high. Who wants it? Tomey? Nope. First baseman Dertina will make the catch right in front of Tomey for the second out of the inning. And that will leave it up to Lucas Winburn. Hughes looking to get out of this one. Runners second and third, and nobody out on a walk and a double with 3, 4, and 5 up. Here's number 5. Winburn to Cox. Scoops, throws. Nazareth Academy gets out of the inning. John Hughes, strikeout, pop-up, ground out. The ball never left the infield. So Sycamore will leave 2 on base. We've played 3. Nazareth coming to bat with a 2-0 lead.
Hey, IHSA baseball fans.
Hey, conductor, how about something new? You played this last year.
Come on, get your head out of your sacks.
We're trying to hear.
Well, I'm sick and tired of hearing your kid play the wrong notes. Where's my kid solo?
At least you can see your kid. Why is my kid stuck way in the back?
The conductor only plays his favorite.
My kid heard that solo.
You saying I did?
Yeah, yeah.
Academy Sports and Outdoors has something for everyone in your family. From top sports brands to backyard cooking or the best in the outdoors. The North Face, Yeti, Columbia, or Magellan Outdoors, Academy has it all. Whether you're celebrating familiar traditions or exploring new ones, we've got what you need in here to have fun out there. Start your next adventure and make lifelong family memories at Academy Sports and Outdoors. Download our app or shop at academy.com.
Today's game is also available for all subscribers via the NFHS Network Live mobile app for Apple and Android devices. Download the app from the Apple App Store or Google Play Store today to start watching live games wherever you are.
We mentioned Jim Tomey being a member of the coaching staff, former Major League Baseball player for the Cubs and Red Sox, Mike Bowden, also in the dugout as an assistant coach. John Saraceno, a graduate, played ball at UIC. He's an assistant coach. And Rod Molick, who had great success at Driscoll as a head baseball coach on that staff as well. Of course, Rod Molick has a ring from Glenbar West, undefeated state champions in basketball. So that's quite the coaching staff that Lee Milano has established.
Well, and back to Rod Molick, he signs up to coach a sport. He knows that season is going to be extended. He's not going to get an early out any particular season. Number 9 hitter is the catcher, Chuck Roche. He walked last time, and that was in the second inning. It came with a couple outs. Ended up loading the bases, and Sycamore got out of it with no damage. 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors for Nazareth. No runs, 4 hits, and no errors for the Sycamore Spartans. Hammond just blows that one by Roche.
I'll go back to Mike Bowden for just another minute. How about Mike Bowden facing Jim Thome in the big leagues, now coaching with him at Nazareth in high school?
Yeah, that was his major league debut when he faced Thome. It was interesting, speaking with both of those fellas last night. So that came up. Lee Milano, was right there and noted that, that was in his debut. And then all of a sudden, I'm not sure how the conversation switched, but all of a sudden then Bowden and Thome were just kind of talking about it and relaying like, oh, this guy had a great splitter and this guy did. Little fister over the head of the second baseman, Pulio. Roche will find himself on leading off the top of the fourth inning.
Quality at bat and just enough strength. Got that ball down toward the bottom, toward the handle, but was strong enough to fight and muscle that ball over the second baseman for a base hit.
Now Jason Cavanaugh will come to the mound. He points to right field, and he is pointing to Townsend in right field. And that's the one thing with Antman. The idea is for him to go as hard as he can for as long as he can. Usually it's about the fifth inning when Sycamore wants to make a move. So Townsend will come in to pitch. Let's see what other defensive moves are made. Hunter Britz will come into the ball game. So Antman will leave. Will Baumgartner is also headed out. And are we getting Joey Pulio will be moving to the outfield. So we'll try to trace all that for you.
I'll take a look at Townsend's numbers while you're doing that. We mentioned his stature and physique. 6'4", 205 is Townsend. On the season, he is a relief pitcher. It's usually Townsend and Willard that come in for Antman as the year has gone along. That's kind of the roles they played. In 23 innings pitched, Townsend allowed 18 hits, walked 6, struck out 30 in 23 innings pitched, and had a minuscule earned run average of 0.30.
So Scott Cavanaugh said, I really don't know that I want Jimmy Antman to go out there and face this lineup the third time through. Okay, here's what it looks like in terms of I believe is going to be our defensive alignment. Joey Pulio will go to right field. Coming into second base is Hunter Britz. And Britz will take the spot of Antman in the batting order. I think that was pretty much predetermined. As quickly as Jason Cavanaugh came out of the dugout, I think the idea was, okay, first man gets on, we'll just make this move. The timing is such that it comes at the top of the order. Luca Fiore has singled and reached on a fielder's choice.
So we got lefty versus lefty here. And it was interesting because I was noticing Tommy Townsend came in with a runner on first, and he did all of his warm-up pitches from the windup. Now he's got to go ahead and go to the set position, so a little bit different process and approach that you might expect.
Let's see what Fiore is able to do. He wanted to bunt, and ooh, that caught Hartman, the catcher. And not in a good spot. A foul tip on the bunt.
Good job by home plate umpire Jim Urbanek calling timeout right away and asking for the bench to come over.
Coming up following this game, we move to 4A action. York, first time in first time since 1993 for York to be in the finals, taking on the defending state champs in Edwardsville. And then Brother Rice and New Trier will battle in our final game of the day.
Yeah, you talk about 30 years ago, and York won the entire title under Doug Mullaney that year. 30 years later, a chance for the second title.
Hartman back on his feet, gets a hand, and that'll give us a chance. Well, I thought he might get a few warm-up tosses. But instead, we play on with Fiore fouling off the first pitch. He has 1 strike against him. See if that bunt is still on. It is. Foul ball. Hartman quickly out to get that one.
Lee Milano told him to go ahead and hit. People are saying, well, there's 2 strikes, you have to. Not necessarily. If you want your man to bunt and he can handle a bat, you have him bunt again.
Townsend just misses. Now, the bunting game, obviously important in Nazareth Academy because the offensive goal has always been for a Lee Milano team is score 1 run an inning. Well, now you have your 2-run lead. He'll take it up to 3 if he can. Not looking necessarily for the big innings. If you think about that, 7 runs a game is going to win you a lot of games. Short lead at first. Hartman has to keep it in front of him.
Joey Paleo way deep in right field.
Ooh, he is close to the track there. Waved at and missed. Townsend gets Fiore.
Now batting for Nazareth, the shortstop, number 0, Cooper Malamasian.
Cooper Malamasian checked into this game with a .569 average. He's 0 for 2 today. Malamasian rips this one to left center, trying to run it down. Sliding catch is made by Connor Willier. That is twice that Malamasian has been a victim of outstanding defensive plays by Sycamore.
Yeah, he laid out for that ball. He had a beat on it the whole time to Willier, and he ended up going to his knees, sliding. And you're right, Malamasian squared up the last 2 balls and has nothing to show for it but a couple outs. Really nice catch off the sound of the bat by the fine left fielder, Connor Williard.
They'll bring up Jaden Fauske. Fauske takes a big rip at it. You know, that ball Malamasian hit, it was interesting because, you know, well, you would know, Mark, when you hit a good drive in golf, where that ball kind of jumps up, that's what Malamasian's ball did there with Willier. Actually got a little bit extra elevation. Willier could run it down.
I know what you're referring to, but I don't hit the drives like that well often enough. I know that. Oh. I do know what it feels like maybe once out of every 18, you know what
Short lead at first against the lefty. Fauske will look at that and the count 2-1.
Spartan fans wanted a strike call there, didn't get it.
Fauske hits this one in the nose. Willier took a couple steps back. Now he comes in, can't handle it. It'll bounce in front of him, and runners at first and second for the Road Runners.
Yeah, that one, Willier did not get a jump off the bat. Actually, his first step was a drop step deeper, so not a good read off the sound there. Sets up an opportunity for the inning to stay alive after he's been really superlative in left field before that play.
You know, and the other part of that play is the courtesy runner. I believe that's still Sebastian Wagner, who is running for Roche. He's only at second base, and Lee Milano looked out at him and said 2. There were 2 outs.
Yes.
Now it's up to Lucas Smith. Smith scored at a single last inning. Couple of hops to the third baseman. Going to go the long throw across. Rosado gets it to Winburn. And Tommy Townsend comes in and does the job. He gave up 1 hit, but he kept Nazareth off the board. Halfway home in this one, it's a 2-0 lead in your Class 3A semifinal for Nazareth. High school sports fans, never miss another game. Become a subscriber to the NFHS network to watch live event coverage, game replays, and highlights from high school sporting events from across the country. Millions of athletes, thousands of games, one destination, NFHSnetwork.com. We are high school. And we are in the bottom of the fourth inning. Owen Piazza to lead things off for Sycamore. They are down by 2. Trying to bunt his way on, and that curveball just ate him up down there near his ankles. Piazza, the designated hitter, now batting not for Jimmy Antman anymore, but for Hunter Britz, who came into the ball game. Piazza waves at that one and has had a tough time picking up Hughes in this at bat. Piazza grounding out to third his first time.
Hughes does not have that overing power velocity. He's not going to beat you at 98, 99 miles an hour, but he's going to beat you with a little bit of guile, craftiness, and throw a little leather at the same time on that 1-3 put out.
He did. Kind of just popped it up to his bare hand. Got the ball right in there on the fist of Piazza for out number 1. He's retired 4 in a row since putting runners first and second and nobody out last inning. Connor Willier, he grounded or popped out to short his first time up. Willier headed to Rock Valley Junior College. He's going to go after the first one. This is slicing away from the left fielder Fauski in the bullpen and makes the catch. Fauski tracked that one very well, made the catch in a tough spot of the field.
I tell you what, everybody talks about Nazareth and their offensive numbers, but their defense is just stellar. There is not a weak spot to be found in their infield or outfield play. And then you have the catching prowess of Chuck Roche, and you got a really good defense.
2 quick outs here in the fourth to Colin Severson. Severson with a base hit. He had a base hit with 2 outs the last time up.
Steven Severson just has willed his way into the lineup with consistent offensive hitting and solid defense as a left-handed shortstop.
Beginning of the year, first day of practice, you tapped Severson on his shoulder and said, guess what? You're going to be playing the state semifinals, and you're going to be at shortstop. I don't think he'd have bought it. He flies out to Lucas Smith, and that is a quick bottom half of the fourth inning. 4 innings in the book. Nazareth Academy, the defending state champs in 3A, lead it 2-0.
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool. On the field. Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah!
Be great.
Participate!
3A, 4A baseball here in the final weekend of the IHSA sports season. Last week, Mark and I were in Peoria for the 1A and 2A championships. Congratulations to Waterloo Jabot in 1A and for Joliet Catholic Academy. They were the champs in Class 2A. We'll get 2 more champions crowned here tomorrow. Our day starts tomorrow at 9 o'clock. It'll be the 3rd place game in Class 3A, and then we'll just continue to play on through the day. The 4A championship schedule to start around 5:30 on Saturday night. We still have business to take care of here today as Nazareth will bat with a 2-run lead. Nick Dortina, David Cox, and Landon Tomey will face Tommy Townsend, who came out in relief last inning. Dortina, part of that inning, picked up an RBI, the first RBI of the 3rd inning. Landon Tomey added a sacrifice fly later on in that frame.
Lefty versus lefty. Townsend starts him slider.
So you made the point that when Townsend came in from right field to warm up, everything was good pitch there. Everything was from the windup. And then, of course, with runners on base, he had to pitch from the stretch. Well, now he's pitching from the stretch here, too. So interesting how he warmed up and now how he's going to throw the rest of this game. Good job by Hartman to keep that one there.
Nazareth has some activity in their bullpen right now.
Took a little off that one. Dertina able to wait nicely. He'll start the top of the fifth with a single.
Patience is a virtue. He saw 4 consecutive breaking balls, so he probably had that timed up pretty well. You're right. He waited, let the ball get deep, tracked it deep with his eyes, let the ball get to him, was able to get that ball over Colin Severson's shortstop head.
Brings up David Cox. We've seen him flash the leather at third base. Lee Milano says this guy could play shortstop for just about any other team in the state, and we've seen that ability. Dertina's short lead at first. Time is called.
Cox, the junior, has been a regular since his freshman year. So plethora of varsity experience.
Fouled straight back into the backstop.
6'4", 205. If that's not a prototype corner infielder, what is? My goodness.
Townsend's pitch. Got him on the outside corner, 1-2. Should say got the call. Cox has another pitch to play with.
He got his weight on his backside.
Swings right through that fastball. Townsend working David Cox beautifully. Second strikeout for Townsend.
Well, that was just good old-fashioned hard ball right there. Here it is. Catch me if you can. And Cox, the prolific hitter that he is, hitting at a 396 clip with 14 extra base hits, was just overpowered by that Townsend fastball.
Landon Tomey, a productive day for the freshman second baseman, can put this one down. Townsend has to hurry. The sacrifice will be successful, and that will move the runner to second. Maybe not a pure sacrifice, but it's enough to move the guy to second base in scoring position, playing for that one run an inning.
Well, I tell you what, Lucas Winburn, the first baseman, that was a really nice pick by him as well. Now, we've mentioned his name defensively 4 different times today. On the defensive side, he's been impactful on this baseball game.
Finn O'Mara will hit with the runner in scoring position with 2 outs. Couple of looks to second. O'Mara hit by a pitch and lined out in this game. Batting for the pitcher, John Hughes. Hit hard. Severson can't handle it cleanly. There'll be runners on the corners.
That ball was scalded. It was hit like a bullet. Severson, I think that time looked up before he looked the ball in. Went back to his bare hand to try to give himself a play, but not a chance.
Back to the number 9 spot in the order, and Chuck Roche. He's been on base twice, a walk and a single. Dertina at third. O'Mara at first. Just foul. Dertina had to skip out of the way of that one. It's the first error of this game on either side. Nazareth has left 8 runners on base in the first 4 innings. They've scored 2. Opportunities for many, many more. Slightly open stance. Powder blue shoes for O'Shea.
You like those shoes? I do.
starting to buy into it.
You're buying in.
Yeah.
I could see you wearing a pair like that when you played.
White or black. That was our choices.
Yeah.
White or black. 0-2 to Roche. Big pitch here coming up from Townsend. Runner at first, O'Meara was skipping off the bag that time.
And Lee Milano just said he made a circle with the hand like go. I think he wants him. I think he might want to try to get him picked off here. Watch him extend. I think he wants Townsend to try to pick him off right there.
Well, look at the runner at third. This ball is hit hard, and the idea here is runners first and third. You have a left-handed pitcher on the mound. The runner at third, in this case, Nick Dortina, is coming all the way down the line because the left-hander pitcher's focus is completely at the runner at first base. Any type of move, even a step off, Dortina is going to break for the plate.
Exactly. And Sycamore didn't buy it. So now if you're Nazareth, you probably just go ahead and steal the base, right?
That's a big lead. Yep, there he goes. Roche fights it off. Foul ball. Hartman had to go over halfway down the line to knock it foul. Townsend just kind of watched him do it.
Well, Winburn at first base held his ground. He couldn't decide, should I come and get the ball and make a defensive play, or is the ball going to get to me, because no one would cover first base. Honestly, fortunately for Sycamore, that ball rolled foul.
Mm-hmm. So Roche get another shot at it with a 1-2 count. Runner breaks for second again. That pitch just misses. So once again, the stolen base and difference, however you'd like to score it, Nazareth has runners at second and third with 2 outs. We're at the top of the 5th inning. The 2-2 pitch. Off the fist, this should stay in play for Winburn. And once again, Sycamore is able to get out of it. Once again, Nazareth leaves 2 runners on. They have left 10 runners on base in 5 innings. And yet the Roadrunners lead it 2-0 as we go to the bottom of the 5th.
Thank you very much. Building strong financial futures, one family, one street, one city at a time since 1868. Visit Busey.com to learn more. Busey Bank, building business and growing wealth since 1868. Member FDIC. Busey Bank, proud to support the academic dreams of IHSA athletes.
Sycamore looking to make a dent here against John Hughes. So far, Hughes has been tough. He has retired the last 6 batters in succession. 4 hits for Sycamore today. They'll have to start it with number 9 in the order, Pulio, and then back to the top, Carnoki and Rosado.
Hughes has a really good mound presence. He knows what he needs to do. He stays within himself, gets it done. He's moved the ball around the plate, changed speeds effectively, and there have not been a lot of scored up baseballs by Sycamore Spartans thus far.
Some activity down in the Sycamore bullpen. Tommy Townsend has come in and really done a good job in relief of Jimmy Ampman. Pitch to Pulio. You know, if Nazareth versus Sycamore sounds familiar to you, well, then you were around in the state semifinals and state football finals, semifinals this past fall. Nazareth went on to win the state championship, but these 2 teams met in the semifinals. Nazareth 10-7 winners in that ball game. Julio hits this one hard, one hopper to Malamazian. That's pretty much automatic right there. Several members of this baseball team for Sycamore on that football team, including Joey Julio, Kiefer Tarnoki, Addison Peck, Connor Willier, were in that ball game, that football game against Nazareth.
And I'm pretty sure, I'd have to double check or triple check my notes, but I think last year when Nazareth won the state baseball championship as well, I think they eliminated Sycamore in that game as well. So there's been too much Nazareth Academy if you're a Sycamore Spartan fan. Pretty good respect among those two schools.
Nazareth Academy out of LaGrange Park. Kiefer Tarnoki at the plate. He's been on base twice, once by way of a hit and once with a walk. Top of the order for the Spartans.
I had the pleasure to coach against Nazareth, like literally the year they opened. I remember we played a basketball game in a junior high. They didn't have a gym at their school. We played a baseball game at a city park. It was just, I mean, they started from scratch, and now they built just an incredibly solid athletic program overall.
Tarnoki lifts this one to right. Finally comes down into Luca Fiore's glove for the second out. And John Hughes is cruising right now.
Next batter for Sycamore, third baseman.
With 2 outs, Matt Rosado, he has one of the 4 hits for the Spartans. He doubled. In fact, it was a very promising double for Sycamore in the third inning. That put runners first and second with nobody out. But then strikeout, pop up, ground out. Hughes got out of it. And he's retired those 3 plus 8 more, or plus 5 more.
And he's only struck out 2, but he's just attacking the strike zone, isn't he? Just making a put in play, and with that defense, why not?
We may see Rosado at some time during these next 2 days on the mound. He's come in as part of the closing option for Matt Cavanaugh. The folks are done and warming up in the bullpen. We'll see if we get a pitching change next inning for Sycamore. And meanwhile, Hughes has fallen behind, 3 balls and a strike.
It was Lucas Winburn that would be the guy that's ready for Sycamore. First baseman was down in the pen warming up.
Healthy cut from Rosado. If he can get on, Townsend on deck. The number 2 spot in the order for the Spartans.
Shot a 5'11", 225, and he is strong.
So that walk will give Townsend a chance to bat. Only the second walk of the game for Hughes.
Now batting for Sycamore, the pitcher, number 44, Tommy Townsend.
Remind you, Townsend with 8 home runs this year. Now the walk to the mound for Nazareth Academy. And we get a pinch runner, Robbie Gazinski, to run for Rosado.
Lee Milano made that trip himself, but I don't think he's going to make a move yet.
Hughes at 75 pitches, 44 of them strikes, and he will stay in. And he will face Townsend, and this may be a case too of here's how we want to pitch this guy who has 8 home runs this year.
The entire Nazareth coaching staff giving the signal back up, back up, back up to the outfield. Not one guy, but everybody.
This is up and in.
Yeah, you'll be more than happy to let Townsend drop something in front of you, but you don't want him to gap a ball to the wall, drive in a run, and then be in scoring position himself.
Runner goes. Townsend takes a big hack at it. That runner, Robbie Gazinski. So he's looking to get in scoring position with 2 outs.
Now, Sycamore had come from behind wins in this tournament against Rockford Boylan, against St. Francis. So they've been trailing but been able to overcome those deficits.
Good count for Townsend to work with here.
Then they beat that Rock Island team, Dave. That Rock Island had 23 consecutive wins, and Sycamore knocked them off
decisively. Once again, the runner goes. Townsend fouls it back, and he thought he should have barreled up that one. That was an 8-0 win over Rock Island in the Super Sectional, and that's after defeating St. Francis and Burlington Central in the Caneland Sectional. Lined up outside. Townsend looks at it right down the pipe. So Tommy Townsend goes down looking, and Sycamore goes down in the bottom of the 5th. We'll go to the 6th. Score holding up, Nazareth 2, Sycamore nothing.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 12 million participants in America who take part in high school sports or activities.
Watching live coverage of the IHSA Baseball Championships right here on the NFHS Network. NFHSnetwork.com/IHSA is your destination from those comprehensive coverage of Illinois high school playoff action. Today's game is available for download. Click the digital copy button under the event video player to download a digital copy of the event right to your computer. And if you are watching this one, you know we've got a good ball game here, and you know that Nazareth Academy is not too comfortable right now. Leading 2-0, that's the good part. The second part of that is they've left 10 men on base in 5 innings.
Yeah, they know that they've had a chance to put this game away, especially how effective Hughes and his defense have been, but they just have not been able to get that big hit to bust it open thus far. Got another shot here in the top of inning number 6.
One pitch to Luca Fiore, 1 out.
Next batter for Nazareth, the shortstop.
That brings up Cooper Malamazian, looking for his first hit today.
See Townsend on the mound. He was already on the pitching would-be rubber and ready to go, waiting for Malamazian. He said, let me get it. I want to get it and throw it.
Back on it again.
I'm going to get a time on him. I bet you we're not even 10 seconds between pitches.
This one hit high will drive Tarnoki back a little bit. Sun flashing off his sunglasses, and that's his second out.
We got 2 superlative center fielders in Tarnoki and in Lucas Smith. Both of them, and I was kind of hoping for either one of them to somebody hit a ball in the gap so we could watch them play, because both their coaches have just sung the praises of those 2 superlative center fielders.
Well, we will get a chance tomorrow. Tomorrow, third place championship games here at Dooley Health and Care Field. Jaden Fauski can't hold up in time. Fauski 1 for 2, a walk and a run scored. Singled his last time up.
So there was 8 seconds between pitches. And only because, honestly, Fauski stepped out and now doing the batting glove routine. But it was up to Townsend. I think it'll be 5.5, 6 seconds.
Right off the end of the bat and foul. And Townsend was immediately asking for a ball.
Yeah. You and I talked about this last week, but people just joining us, we didn't talk really about a pitch clock like MLB, but we talked about umpires enforcing not stepping out of the box for a hitter. You know, you get 1 timeout per inning. I think that can be enforced.
Winburn again, a nice little backhand. He'll dive. A little bit of a collision there, but Lucas Winburn with yet another good play.
He has been tremendous at first base, impacting his game for the Spartans defensively.
That's a quick inning for Nazareth Academy. We'll go to the bottom of the sixth. Sycamore looking to scratch here as they try to get back into this one.
High school sports fans, relive your favorite moments. Just click the shopping cart below the video player to get your digital copy today.
Appears as if there are some defensive changes for Nazareth Academy. We're not privy to them yet. Both coaches have communicated with our whole plate umpire, Jim Urbanek.
Jaden Fowski has gone to the pitching hill for Nazareth. We can tell you that. Fowski has a great arm. We've already seen that, of course. He is a 6'2", 190-pound sophomore, 4-0, 31 innings pitched, 47 strikeouts against just 10 base on balls. And Fowski has an earned run average of 0.45. How about that for a sophomore?
He's just a sophomore? Yes.
Yeah.
He carries himself as a senior. We had a chance to speak to him last night.
Yes.
And you just didn't get the impression that this is a sophomore you're talking to.
No, well spoken.
By the way, Joey Corcoran has gone to left field for Nazareth. He takes Fowski's spot out there.
Leading off for Sycamore, the catcher, number 23.
So it'll be a different look now for Kyle Hartman, Lucas Winburn, and Owen Piazza. That's 4, 5, 6 in the Sycamore order here in the bottom of the sixth.
Hughes did his job, scoreless 5 innings. He was efficient, just 75 pitches, 44 of those were strikes.
We gave up 4 hits, struck out 3, walked 2. I really feel like Sycamore needs to get a leadoff man on here this inning. Their biggest threat came in the third. In 2 of the first 5 innings, they've gotten the leadoff man aboard, and both times that was Kiefer Tarnoki, and both times he advanced to third base before being stranded there.
Now, Fowski was a little bit more deliberate, but it wasn't him. It was coming in late from the dugout, the pitch selection on that particular pitch.
2 balls and a strike to junior catcher Kyle Hartman. Hartman with those toes right up on the inside of the batter's box. Scoops this one, and it will slice away from the right fielder, be well out of play as Fioria gave chase and watched it fall past the berm in a little storage area out here at this really wonderful ballpark.
You know every nook and cranny of this ballpark, don't you?
I have been in pretty much most of these nooks and crannies, yes.
What do you think you've been at this ballpark? 300 games? 400 games? Maybe more?
Maybe a couple hundred.
Yeah.
Yep. This is the home of the Joliet Slammers Independent League team, formerly the Joliet Jackhammers. This field converted to turf several years ago. You know, and for Sycamore, there goes Hartman down looking. For Sycamore, earlier this week, they practiced at Northern Illinois University's turf field because, as Scott Cavanaugh or Jason Cavanaugh was telling us, with the weather and how dry it is, it's playing like playing on parking lots for several fields they've been on. He said his Sycamore players, were so happy to get on a turf field where they didn't have to worry about the bad hops or balls just shooting through the infield on them.
Yeah, NIU's turf was just finished late last fall. They utilized that all this spring, and very nice of Sycamore to be able to use that community school to prepare for this turf on this field.
Plate now, Lucas Winburn. He has shown us something down at first base. Today in the plate, fly out and a ground out. Just based on Winburn's body reaction, I think he wished he had taken that pitch off his left leg instead of ducking out of the way. 2-1 though, good count for him. Line drive right at Malamazian, 2 gone.
That ball was hit on the button. Malamazian reacted quick, got his glove up, and it turned out to be an easy out on a well-struck ball.
2 quick outs for Fauski. And he'll bring up Owen Piazza. Piazza behind that fastball.
Fauski ran that one up in the upper 80s. Above his hands, you're not going to get him there. If he gets his fingers on top of this breaking ball, it's going to be nasty.
Little hopper out to second. 4-3, Tommy to Dertina. And a quick inning for Jaden Fauski. We'll go to the 7th, as it has since the 3rd inning. The score remains 2-0.
The IHSA Foundation.
Conductor, how about something new? You played this last year.
Come on, get your head out of your sacks.
Shh, we're trying to hear.
Well, I'm sick and tired of hearing your kid play the wrong notes. Where's my kid's solo?
At least you can see your kid. Why is my kid stuck way in the back?
The conductor only plays his favorites.
My kid heard that solo!
You saying I did?
Yeah!
Come on!
Today's game is also available for all subscribers via the NFHS Network Live mobile app for Apple and Android devices. Download the app from the Apple App Store or Google Play Store today to start watching the games wherever you are.
Well, what a well-played baseball game it has been. Sycamore with 1 error, Nazareth with none. Pitching's been outstanding. Runners left on base for Nazareth would be their only negative to this point.
The only inning that the Roadrunners were retired in order was last inning. I'll give credit to the 2 pitchers today for Sycamore. Jimmy Ampman pitched out of a couple of jams, ran out of gas a little bit. Tommy Townsend has come in and really been a force here. He'll face Lucas Smith, followed by Nick Dertina and David Cox. That's the middle of the order for the Roadrunners. They come in 32-6, defending Class 3A champs, and this one is ripped down the left field line. It's going to get all the way to the wall. Smith rounds first, and he will just cruise into second base. Actually, he'll slide into second unnecessarily, but he has himself a leadoff double.
Now, Lucas Smith just took that ball and just roped it down the left field. Lee Milano calls him the heart of our team, and he told us last night at the picnic, we said, what makes you a hard team? He said, I just want to lead by example. Now he gets that stand-up sliding double, if you will, and has a big celebration back to his dugout. You can see the personality that young man has and what he brings to the table for the Roadrunners.
Nick Dertina at the plate. He has a couple of hits and a run batted in today. Throwing behind the runner at second. And back safely is Smith as Severson cutting in behind him.
Set play on any missed bunt attempt. Hartman would throw through.
Dertina at the plate, a .415 average. That's going to increase today with his 2 hits. Looking to bunt. Will take it for a strike. Now, as Dertina, who was asked to bunt a couple of times earlier today, ended up getting a base hit out of it by way of swinging, but not with a pitch like that. Tommy Townsend's been able to snap a couple off here.
Well, the Roadrunners have shown bunt, 3 or 4 times today and have not executed well enough to actually move a runner over.
Dertina fists this one to center. Tarnoki is there, 1 out.
Yeah, Tarnoki heard that ball right off the bat, was able to gather in. He takes anything in right or left center fielder. It's his. That one was an atom ball, hit hard.
He's had a few putouts today, but like you said, we've not been able to see him cover the gaps yet. He's had no chances there. David Cox 0 for 2. He has also been hit by a pitch. Standing tall in that right-handed batter's box.
Keeps his hands very high, actually above his shoulders. They'll come back in the launch position. Waits on the backside. Really a really good-looking hitter out of that open stance.
Headed to Northwestern. This should stay in play. Winburn looking at it. That's about the 3rd foul out that Lucas Winburn has handled today.
Winburn, if we went back and counted, he's got at least 6 putouts by himself.
Now batting for Nazareth, second baseman number 25.
Besides the ones from the infield, besides those.
6. They just counted. And Landon Tomey, a hit, a sacrifice fly, sacrifice bunt. Freshman right here in the number 7 spot in the Nazareth Academy order.
The way he's handled the bat today, I think he's going to square this baseball up. Where it lands, I don't know. But he's going to stay in there and square the ball up once again. He's done it all day.
Julio playing deep in right field. Townsend able to take a little bit off that curveball.
Yeah, he pulled way off that one. Lefty versus lefty. See if he adjusts, keeps the front side in, stays over the baseball.
Swing and a miss. You know, the one thing Lee Milano says about Landon Tomey is, you know, his dad, first ballot Hall of Famer, but you have to be fair to Landon and let him create his own identity.
Yeah, he's trying to do that right now, but he looked at the dial. Jim Tomey said, hit it that way, hit it that way, hit it that way.
Well, he tried right there. Yep.
You know, sometimes when you're playing for your dad, it's kind of hard and the kids don't listen to you. I wonder if your dad's in the Hall of Fame, you might listen a little bit more closely.
612 home runs, yeah, you might. Got a little bit of it. He's going to get it to right field. Here comes yet another run. Landon Tomey is going to break for second. The throw by Hartman. He'll get him there, but give another RBI to Landon Tomey. His second of the day, his second hit of the day. And it gives Nazareth Academy a 3-0 lead as we go to the bottom of the 7th.
Academy Sports and Outdoors has something for everyone in your family. From top sports brands to backyard cooking or the best in the outdoors. The North Face, Yeti, Columbia, or Magellan Outdoors, Academy has it all. Whether you're celebrating familiar traditions or exploring new ones, we've got what you need in here to have fun out there. Start your next adventure and make lifelong family memories at Academy Sports and Outdoors. Download our app or shop at academy.com.
Jaden Foskey will begin his second inning of relief here, looking to pick up a save And he will be facing 7, 8, 9 in the Sycamore order. Connor Willier, Colin Severson, and Joey Pulio. These two teams met in the semifinals of football this year. It was a 3-point difference in that game, 10-7 Nazareth en route to a state championship. And here today, it's a 3-run difference as we go to the bottom of the 7th in the semifinals.
You're going to go back to that at-bat by Landon Tomey. He had a couple ugly swings, but I felt he was going to square the ball up. He's done it all day, and he did indeed make that adjustment to stay back, let the ball get to him instead of pulling off the baseball.
Fowski saw Roche's glove and hit it. Roche never moved.
No. And you got to think Sycamore was playing catch-up baseball, trying to get a runner any which way. Huge difference, not a little difference. Huge difference between 2-0 and 3-0, though, as far as catch-up baseball is concerned.
Outfield playing Willier to swing late or hit the ball to left field. A lot of room down the right field line. I don't know that they think he can turn around Fowski fastball. Willier, senior left fielder for the Spartans, making their first appearance in state baseball finals. Just got a piece of that. Ball and 2 strikes. And we see the defending 4A champions starting to assemble on the left field line. That's the Edwardsville Tigers. They'll be taking on York, their first 4A semifinal. That a bit too far outside.
Fowski got a little bit of change of pace with his lead leg delivering home plate.
Just missed. Nazareth Academy fans thought that should have been a punch out. Instead, it's 3-2.
First out of innings, oh so tough. Sycamore trying to get a run around to get their crowd alive.
Willier's going to have to make everybody wait a little longer.
Really good waste. That was a good pitch by Jaden Fowski. Willier was able to foul it off and make him pour in a strike once again.
Here's the 3-2. Again fouled off.
I would assume it's Willier's mother standing up with a picture of her son in his hand, a pom-pom in the other one.
What gives that away?
She can't sit still right now.
A white T-shirt with the black Willier and number 6 on the back? Yeah.
That's my giveaway.
Okay. Here it is again, 3-2. Oh, and Naz barking from the dugout as Willier will get the leadoff walk.
Lee Milano out of the dugout saying, "Where was that?"
And we will get a pinch runner, Addison Peck, will run for Connor Willier.
How about that at bat, though, to get on base?
Running at first pitch for Sycamore.
Fouled out off a couple of 3-2 pitches.
Now batting for Sycamore, the shortstop, number 4, Colin Severson.
Colin Severson looking to keep the line rolling. Back foot right on the plate for a right-handed hitter. Severson had a base hit today. Sycamore fans starting to believe something's happening here. Pretty good hack from the junior.
Colin Peck, the runner on first, short lead as well as it should be. His run is basically meaningless. Tying runs on deck circle.
And there's a called strike. It's 1-2. Joey Pulio's on deck. Fowski delivers. Called strike 3. Severson didn't quite believe it. He'll go down for the first out of the inning. That brings up Julio. A couple of ground outs to the left side today.
That was a slider that had really good late bite. Fauski's mound presence is beyond his sophomore years.
Julio goes after the first pitch. Outfield shallowed up a little bit to Julio. On deck is Tarnoki. Fauski starting to bring it.
Oh yeah, the Sycamore hitters right now are on it, but he's just got too much giddy up. They just are not getting the barrel through the zone against him at all. And quite honestly, a lot of times, okay, you think it's time for a breaking ball. That might be to the advantage of a Sycamore hitter right now. In this case, Paleo.
On 0-2. Able to hold up. And Tarnoki comes to the plate. He'll be batting from the left side, switch hitter. 1 for 2 today. They finally get the appeal, and he did not go.
I think Bill Orris was waiting to make that safe call, but then he knew he already had it, but he had to wait for the official appeal to take place.
Right fielder Fiore is going to get a shot at this one. Hit pretty well. Out drifting towards the line. That's out number 2 here in the 7th. I will leave it up to Kiefer Tarnoki.
Well, thus far, it's been pitching and a spotless defense for Nazareth Academy. And as they say, that is the path to a championship, is pitching and defense, and those two go hand in hand.
Nick Dertina, the first baseman for Nazareth, will not hold on the runner at first, Willier. Actually, his courtesy runner, Addison Peck. Tarnoki at the plate, first time he's hit left-handed today. Power from both sides of the plate. And there goes Peck. They'll just let him go to second.
Smart play. That's indifference because you have a left-handed hitter. You don't want the ball to scoot past the first baseman on a base hit.
2 outs, your tying run is still on deck.
Roche just ran out quickly to say which pitch signal they would use with a man on second.
Tarnoki inside out down the left field line, dropping pretty quickly, just foul, getting chase. It's Joey Corcoran. Nazareth giving about 90 feet along that right field line.
Yeah, with 2 strikes, they moved everybody over. Everybody playing far to the left against the left-handed hitter.
Fauski will deliver on 0-2. They want it up and away. Fouled out of play.
Got that ball down the zone more than they wanted to, so that was a mistake in the strike zone. The good news is, if you so choose, I think Lee Milano's calling the pitches. The good news is you can climb the ladder one more attempt on that, try to go above his hands. But they're not showing upstairs, they're showing downstairs.
Ground ball to Tomey. To first. And Nazareth Academy will get a chance to play for a state championship once again, the defending 3A champs. A 3-0 win over Sycamore today in the semifinals. It will be Nazareth Academy and Grays Lake Central battling it out late tomorrow morning for the Class 3A title.
Pitching, defense, some timely hitting. A recipe for a quick victory in the semifinals. Sycamore, a really fine baseball team. But Nazareth Academy, the defending champions for a reason.
And as they did in the semifinals in football, 3-point in football, 3-run difference in baseball. The final score in your second 3A semifinal game today. Nazareth Academy 3, Sycamore nothing. We still have 2 more games to go, a couple of 4A semifinals, so stick with us on the NFHS Network. For Mark Lindo, I'm Dave Bernhardt. Talk to you in just a bit.